Assalamu alaikum students. Hope all of you are doing very well. Today we are going to start the topic that is the birth of Pakistan, and you can see here in your book page number 88 to 95. It is actually for the month of the March. Here are certain objectives which you will be able to know about the major steps taken by the Government of India. Here we will discuss the Government of India Act 1935 and its consequences and implementation as well. We will also be able to compare the role of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Gandhi in the politics of the subcontinent. Here the topic is the birth of Pakistan, Unit 10. We will discuss about the role of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah as a great leader and specifically as far as Pakistan independence is concerned. The very first topic, which is very important, and here we will discuss about the Government of India Act 1935 that was actually imposed to the people of the subcontinent, and here we will see the consequences and the politics of the subcontinent. The Government of India Act was passed in 1935, according to which the British government agreed that the subcontinent should have its own government as a federation of provinces, each with its own local government. It means that they have been emphasized that British government must have to agree on certain issues which must be granted to the provinces. Indians would be given more control of their government, although the central power would be retained or kept by British. This was rejected by the Muslims because it did not give them autonomous power in the province. So Muslims rejected it and they wanted their own power in the central government. The Congress also rejected it because it wanted absolute self-rule of India by the Indian themselves. The elections of 1937, we can see here, the provincial elections were held in 1937 under this act, and the Congress won many seats in many provinces as opposed to the Muslim League. And we know very well that there is the majority of the people who are living in the subcontinent and they were actually Hindus, and the less, or you can say the minority of the Muslims were living over there. The Congress ministries were even labelled by some people as a Congress Raj, as they thought that their government was not better than the British rule. So during the Congress rule, steps were taken to impose Hindu culture and the religion. The elections of 1937 were continued, and we can see in 1939 the British government declared that India would fight against the Germans in the Second World War. In the previous chapter, we know that what happened in the Second World War and what was the impact in the subcontinent because of the Second World War. So the Congress ministers protested against this decision by resigning their ministries. So there were some of the people, right, who were totally against of it. Mr. Jinnah declared 22nd December 1939 as the day of deliverance from the Congress rule. So this was actually because the resignation which was brought a great relief to the Muslims of the subcontinent. On the one hand, the non-cooperation movement of Gandhi and the resignation of the Congress ministers distanced the British from the Congress. This was actually the non-cooperation movement, which you remember we have been discussed it before, which was initiated by Gandhi, and later on he have been imprisoned. On the other side, you can see it improved the relationship between the Muslim League and the British, because Mr. Jinnah, the viceroy, that the Muslims would support the British in the war. It has been decided previously that Muslims will obviously support in the Second World War. The next we will discuss, that is about the Pakistan resolution. As we can see previously that the very harsh and the very hard time was seen by the people of the subcontinent, especially Muslims. Mr. Jinnah set out on a campaign to restructure the Muslim League. The Muslim League held its meeting on 23rd March 1914 in Lahore, in which the Pakistan resolution, that is also called as the Lahore resolution, was passed. That is obviously about Pakistan independence, that Pakistan can never live. The people, the Muslims specifically, can never live with the Hindus because of their separate culture, traditions, and so on. The resolution was written by Muhammad Zafarullah Khan and presented by A.K. Fazlul Haq. It demanded separate state for the Muslims in India with its own independent government. There is a Cripps mission which was made by the leaders of the subcontinent. The leaders of the Congress, Gandhi and Nehru, still disagreed over the partition of India. They demanded an independent but united India with a secular government. As you know, the meaning of the secular government, that you are just separating your religious matters from your politics. So they were against of it, and they demanded for the secular state. The British government sent Sir Stafford Cripps to resolve Hindu-Muslim differences over constitutional reforms. So the British government wanted to settle down the situation, not to separate two countries. So he offered the status of dominion, sovereign or controlled to India with its own constitution after the war ended. The Congress still insisted on the transfer of absolute power to the Indians, and hence they refused to accept Cripps' offer. So they refused the Cripps' offer because Congress always wanted to see a united subcontinent or the united India. In 1942, Gandhi began the Quit India movement, demanding that the British should leave India immediately. This campaign was meant to be non-violent, peaceful means. But many demonstrations became violent and more than 1,000 people died. Many were imprisoned, including Gandhi and Nehru. In 1944, the British released Gandhi from prison. This was actually about the Jinnah and Gandhi talks, when they two clearly talk about their reasons regarding a separate Muslim state, whether it is possible or not. So we have seen in 1944 they released Gandhi from the prison, and Mr. Jinnah, as the leader of the Muslim League, met with him to discuss the future of the subcontinent. Mr. Jinnah explained the two-nation theory to Gandhi, who refused to accept the view. So there were some of the main points you can see in your book as well. When we talk about the Gandhi's point of view, he emphasized that we are all Indians, whether Muslim or Hindu, so partition is not necessary. He also said if we agree on partition, the mainly Hindu areas of the Bengal and Punjab should be in India, because the Punjab was having a very big area, right? And there were both the people were living over there, and Bengal as well. The Muslim League does not speak for all Muslims. Some Muslims are even Congress members. So this was also right from the side of the Gandhi. He also emphasized that if we agree on partition, it should happen after independence, not at the same time. But on the other side, you can see the main points of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and these were the valid points as well. He emphasized that the religious views and the way of life are different. We would be a minority. We need our own state. On the other side, as far as Bengal and Punjab is concerned, it should be the part of Pakistan. The Muslim League speaks for all Muslims here, right? Partition should be happen at the same time as independence. So he said that wherever the Muslims are, All India Muslim League is here to talk about the Muslims throughout India. A new government in Britain, which was formed, as we can see in the Second World War, it was ended in 1945. But Winston Churchill was no longer the Prime Minister of Britain. He was not, the permanent Prime Minister for the Britain. The Labour Party was introduced and now led the government with a new Prime Minister, Clement Attlee. The Labour Party supported independence for India but without Pakistan. The same year, elections were held in India, although the Congress won 90% of the seats. As we know, that Congress and the Hindus were in the majority. That's why it happens. The Muslim League gained the votes of 90% of the Muslims from all over India. From the Muslim side, you can see that 90% of the Muslims were giving favor to Quaid-e-Azam. Muhammad Ali Jinnah and All India Muslim League. So the results of the elections clearly indicated that the majority of the Indian Muslims supported the Muslims League and wanted a separate state for themselves. That is also a very positive point towards the Muslims. The another very important thing which was held, the direct action plan. Before I continue the direct action plan, you can see in your book page number 91 where they have taken a picture of an old newspaper in the era of 1945. It is about 27 July, Friday. So the newspaper is Daily Mirror. This paper actually shows that at that time, whoever the prime minister is, he was supposed to continue the government in the subcontinent and wanted to stabilize it in different forms. Okay, so the direct action plan, what was happened in that? It has happened in actually 1946. Jinnah became concerned that the Congress and the British government would unite to stop the creation of Pakistan. He asked all the Muslims to take part in the peaceful marches and the demonstrations in August to show that they wanted their own independent Muslim state as Pakistan. On 16 August, meetings were held across the country to explain the League's plan, what was actually the League plan is, and there were different meetings and the marches were going on. But obviously when there were the meetings and the marches, there were little disturbance was going on except in Kolkata, where there was fighting and thousands were injured, and it is said that 4,000 of the people have been killed. Okay, the British agreed to leave India. How it happens and when it happens? After the Second World War, there was much to keep the British government busy at home, particularly rebuilding their economy, transport system, and their services. If you follow the Second World War's consequences, you can find there was a big damage or economic damage in the western areas of the western sides, and that is actually regulated by the British as well. On 20th February, we can find 1947, Clement Attlee announced that Britain would leave India by June 1948. He appointed Lord Mountbatten as the Viceroy of India to look after the transfer of government. Here they are agreed to give a separate Muslim state to Muslims and the Hindus as well. So there was a civil war in Lahore and Amritsar in Punjab where Sikhs wanted their own independent state, although many of them did not want partition at all. So there were people, they never ever wanted to make it as a partition. The Ratcliffe Commission was held. In that way, we have seen that Lord Mountbatten had been instructed by the British government to keep the subcontinent united. Mr. Jinnah strongly opposed this idea and demanded a separate state for the Muslims. Lord Mountbatten agreed to partition only if the Punjab and Bengal were to be divided between the two states. Although Jinnah opposed the partition, but in the end he agreed to avoid further delay in the partition of an independent state for the Muslims of India. He wanted as soon as possible it happens, there must be an announcement of a separate Muslim state. Bengal had earlier been partitioned by Lord Curzon in 1905 and Ratcliffe kept to that boundary. The Punjab was divided into almost two equal parts. Finally, it has been decided that the majority of the people who are living in the part of Punjab, that must be the part of Hindus or the Muslims. When the results were finally announced, it came as a shock to Mr. Jinnah and all members of the League. The boundaries were described as wrong and unjust by Mr. Jinnah, as he thought that these are really unjust because many Muslims majority areas were given over to India. So there were some of the princely states were involved. Lord Mountbatten wished to become the governor of both the countries, India and Pakistan, but Mr. Jinnah insisted on becoming the Governor General of Pakistan. He never ever wanted interference from the British government in the newly born Pakistan. Pakistan became an independent nation on 14th August 1947 and millions of the people left their homes and crossed the borders on both the sides. here we can see the picture, one of the way where the partition was happened, and how you can see the Muslims were going to their places and they wanted the partition. There were some of the princely states. Here you can see in your book as well, page number 94. The map shows the all the princely states. Yellow in color you can find the Indian states, and the pink in color you can find the Indian provinces. So there were about 565 princely states in India that were given the choices to join either India or Pakistan. Some states like Bahawalpur, Kanpur, Chitral, Sawat, Hunza, Makran, and Khanate of Kalat, and few other initially remained autonomous but later joined Pakistan. The state of Kashmir met a similar fate when it was forcibly occupied by the Indian military forces in 1948. In response to the Indian move, Pakistan sent its troops. As we can see the history, if you move backward a little bit or in the past, you can find that there was a ruler which was Hindu Raja, while its people were largely Muslims. The Maharaja could not decide whether to join India or Pakistan, but this caused restlessness among the people who wanted to join Pakistan. So the mutiny broke out, and there were massacres going on in the area of Poonch between the people and the troops of the Maharaja. As I told you before, the people were the Muslims, or the population of Kashmir was the Muslim, but Maharaja was Hindu. The freedom fighters of Poonch were helped by the Pathan tribesmen of Pakistan. While the Hindu Raja Maharaja Hari Singh asked India for help, India sent its troops through the Muslim majority area of Gurdaspur, which had been unjustly given to India by the Boundary Commission. So, after this happening, in response to the Indian move, Pakistan sent its troops to Kashmir. And later on, Mr. Jinnah asked Nehru and Mountbatten to discuss the matter in Lahore and then decide what to do later on. So later they have taken an action to the United Nations by India, and however the Kashmir issue has not been resolved to date, as we know. Here you can see the areas which were given to Pakistan, West Pakistan, the East Pakistan specifically, you can see here, right? And there are princely state also mentioned, yellow in color here and blue in color. These were the Indian provinces. Okay, here I will end. And guys, you need to remember there are some of the very important things. Do conceptual reading of this chapter from your textbook, right? As far as its effect is concerned in your book, you need to focus on it as well. Mark all the important points and read out the dates and the timeline mentioned on page number 97. Although I have been discussed in the chapter, there are some of the key facts as well that you can see they have summarized the whole chapter as well. Thank you so very much for listening.